Hello, everybody. As you can see, I made my voice normal, which is a good thing. As you can see, we're doing an evolution project. We're gonna show evolution on an alien world. There are a few things that you have to know before we start. First of all, is symmetric.
Symmetric.
Symmetrics. This is bilateral symmetry, and this is radial symmetry. Radial symmetry, all symmetry is shown by one point in the middle, and radial is by a straight line. Like if you cut a human in two, they'll both be equal. Unless they probably have a wart on one of their arms. But let's say they're equal, symmetric. Asymmetric. Okay. We're gonna divide our creatures in three clades. First, let's call these ones Geletians. Purple trees and Slimolias. All of these clades emerged from a creature right over here, the common ancestor of all life in the planet. Let's start with these ones. Sorry, let's just call them plankton until I give them a proper name in the next episode. You never know, it could be even tomorrow. Okay, let's start with this one. This is the most primitive one. But we're gonna mostly focus on those two ancestors. Descendants, because they're in the future. This one used two of its tentacles to capture nutrients made by hydrothermal vents and some other sources. These creatures move by the currents. They cannot move by the currents, which make them plankton. Plankton means nothing that is really small and in the sea. Plankton means they cannot move by the currents. So if a whale cannot move by the currents, it's technically plankton. Everything is those two things are multi-celled. This one used an organ which senses the ocean current so it knows where it goes. It is too early for eyes. Let us say that this planet has very high volcanic activity. And let's just add a hint of sulfur dioxide just for fun. You never know what happens. And another way that they can move is by ejecting air within microscopic holes, which inside of the creature there is a gigantic air socket. Now let's go with these ones. These ones are basically plants. This one is the ancestor. They have a purple pigment, which cyanobacteria use in real life over 3 or 2 billion years ago. These tree-like organisms can be a couple centimeters tall, while in the plankton only have are only 1 millimeter. From this one, two descendants emerged. One has more of energy producing organs, but they're smaller. The other one has the opposite. It has less, but it has bigger ones. They have roots that anchor into the rock. And by an organ that creates acid to create holes in the rocks so it's easier to roots to form. So 1 second, everybody. Just have a quick drink. Much better. Now back to the point. And that's pretty much it for them. And then the last kind are basically slime molds, but they're not. I forgot to mention that these trees capture light, and their waste product is iron metals for other organisms. These ones can grow up to crazy sizes, as you can see by the 50 centimeter mark, because these guys are only 1 cell tall. They're basically slime molds, squishy, and they float at the top of the water. They're not really multicell, they are more bacteria colonies. One has cyanobacteria in it, and the other one is not chlorophyll bacteria, but bacteria that gather iron and other metals to create more of themselves. All of these just replicate like amoebas. They just, and these guys reproduce by fragmentation, which means that that some parts break off from the old one and then create a new organism. Last thing, as you can see, this is the family tree. These are organisms which are photosynthetic, which are basically plants. These guys don't eat them. They only harvest like iron and other metals. These guys have no pigment because there's no really use. Everything else has pigment to supply the energy, but these guys obviously don't make energy by their own. So they have no pigment, and since they have no eyes, they don't or sex, they have no pigment. Bye everybody. Please like and subscribe.